Alan, I asked this question of Boss. So my answer has already been answered, given, I should say. But I want to get your thoughts on this one. And if you guys haven't checked that out, Boss was back on the podcast on Monday. Go and it was good. It was good. A lot of UFC talk too. But I asked him this question, and I want your thoughts. From a storyline, media day, 2-week build-up perspective, which is the most appealing Super Bowl matchup of the 4 for you?
Packers Chiefs without hesitation.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's close.
Okay.
I know there could be buzz with Bucks Chiefs because Mahomes, Brady. It'll be a rematch too, in a game where Tyreek Hill, I thought, was about to break the single game receiving yards record. He just went ballistic in that game.
He had 200 yards in the first quarter.
But I just think, look, the two best quarterbacks this year have been Rodgers and Mahomes. I think it would be just cool to see Rodgers back there. It's kind of a big redemption story considering people are writing him off. Just the Packers look to be in like a weird spot as an organization. And, the Chiefs, everyone knows them. They're the most explosive offense in the league, high-powered, all the superlatives you can mention. I think Packers-Chiefs is just the ultimate matchup of offenses you want to watch. And look, Buffalo's super entertaining and Tampa has the star power, but nothing comes close to Green Bay, Kansas City for me.
So I said Bills, Bucks.
All right, that's out there.
For the single reason being, Buffalo's hype. They get to the Super Bowl. They finally win the division. No longer got to play Brady. And then who's waiting for them at the big dance? Tom fucking Brady.
That's a good storyline.
That'd be fire.
Yeah, I could see Vince writing something like that.
That would be a Vince one. Let's talk about the NFC title game. We got the Bucks and the Packers. I have a hot take. You know what the best draft pick in the first round in 2020 was?
Oh, okay, I know where you're going with this. It should be Tristan Wirfs, technically. It could be the best right tackle in the league right now.
Yeah, it could be, but it's not. It's Jordan Love.
Okay, whatever.
Jordan Love going over there lit a fucking fire up Rodgers' asshole, and he's just been on fire, man.
I wish just them drafting Chase Claypool and Michael Pittman Jr. could have just helped lit him up, like just give him another weapon. So, because you were talking about this on Saturday, like imagine if Aaron Rodgers had another receiver not named Devontae Adams that could catch the ball consistently.
Bro, I swear from watching them, and I text Taryn, shout to Taryn, he should have had 60 touchdowns this year. If anyone could catch the ball, that wasn't Adams.
Oh, man.
So many, and even on that opening drive, he says catch the damn ball when they settle for a field goal against the Rams. Guys can't catch the ball over there besides Adams.
Wish they invested in a receiver. Like you said, they did. And Devin Funchess, which, oh boy, Devin Funchess probably would have added like 6 drops.
Oh, yeah, he would have added to that total without a doubt. Dude, what do you think about this matchup, man? Because I think it's very interesting because if I'm the Packers, I'm a little worried about this offense coming into Lambeau. Because, first of all, you have a quarterback who is built in the cold. Like, the cold is not going to affect Brady. He knows the cold. He's one of the greatest cold weather quarterbacks, on top of him being the greatest quarterback of all time. But that defense in Green Bay, man, I think is a little suspect.
They could get after him with the pass rush, but yeah, the secondary, outside of Jair Alexander and Adrian Amos, there's holes there. We talk about Kevin King. Kevin King gets targeted quite a bit. And Tampa Bay, even without Antonio Brown, they have more than the firepower. One of the biggest plays last weekend, I thought, just individual, just in terms of how impressive it was, Brady's back shoulder to Tyler Johnson at third down.
Yeah.
Like, Aikman lost it, but I think everyone watched it had to lose their minds. It was such an impressive catch, and Tyler Johnson has shown flashes this year. It's just that receiver depth chart is crazy because obviously we know about Godwin, Evans, and Scotty Miller has a good rapport with Brady. But Tyler Johnson, if he gets opportunities, he could make plays. And I'm still waiting for that Gronk moment. Like, Gronk literally has 1 catch in 2 games in the playoffs. Like, at some point, Gronk's going to pop up, whether it's in the red zone or down the seam. Like, Gronk's got to do something. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot to be concerned about. But if there's one thing I'm encouraged about with Green Bay is their front 4 looks nasty, and I think they could pose a serious threat. They have this sub package where they put Zadarius Smith inside, they'll put Rashawn Gary as edge rusher, and then on the other side you have Kenny Clark on the inside, and then Preston Smith. So you got both Smiths, but then you have Kenny Clark, the big nose tackle, and then there's Rashawn Gary, who has been a huge revelation for them. I think that front 4, even though Tampa Bay has like 3 all-pros on their offense line, like both trench both sides of the trenches, I think there's so many good matches in this game. And because Green Bay quietly, I know Aaron Donald was injured last week. He clearly was ineffective. But that Green Bay O-line did serious work on the Rams. So I think when you look at the trenches in this game, I know it's not the most appealing thing out there, but there's a lot of good stuff there. And I think it's very even where both teams could do serious damage.
Isn't it crazy that for years we wanted a Pats Packers Super Bowl,
Right,
the
never.
12s, and now
Yeah.
you get it in the NFC title game.
Right, because it kind of should have happened when 2010, 2011 season when Rodgers had that crazy run, but unfortunately Rex Ryan got the Pats that one time.
Well, that and then the year after it should have happened too. The Pats were the 1 seed, and then
the
Packers
Giants
beat
guy
the
after.
Giants. Damn, try to tell them, man. They didn't want to listen. And then I think there's been a couple of times too. Maybe
What was the year when obviously Brandon Boss took him onside? I think
that
because
was 2014.
and New England made it.
They played the Seahawks.
So it should have been Patriots Packers if the onside went right. So yeah, we've kind of
even with the Falcons, right? Didn't you guys beat them in the NFC title game?
that game was over by the third quarter though.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
I'm talking about games where they
had
really
a
had
chance.
opportunity.
Yeah.
So no, you're right. We kind of missed out on that. Hey, we're getting it now.
First time the NFC title game for Rodgers is in Lambeau.
Huge moment for
something
him.
you pointed out,
Yeah.
which I love. First one in his career. Yo, 0-3 in his last 3 conference championship games is Mr. Rodgers.
So it's Seattle, Atlanta, and San Fran.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's on the receiving end of. To me, the Atlanta and San Fran games, I don't know how you could blame Rodgers because those defense just got torched.
Yeah.
You talk about San Fran on the ground; they ran for 240 yards, and that amazing Falcons offense with Ryan, Julio, Shannon. Like I don't think Rodgers had much of a chance in those 2 games. The Seattle game was just the most ridiculous thing imaginable.
Do you know how turned on I was on that drag route to Julio in that game? Oh my god! And I saw you tweeting about it. You're like, how dare anyone say that Michael Thomas is the best receiver? In that
Sunday
league?
night, someone should have took my phone away. I was getting a little too excited, but
Mount St. Julio.
I think this game phenomenal matchup in so many different ways. I'm curious about how both these teams try to run the ball because I think Fournette has been a huge surprise. First off,
I think the way they use him is a surprise.
Yeah, he's
James
been-
White.
yeah,
Right? Is that
pretty much.
crazy?
And Fournette has terrible hands, but look, I think especially against New Orleans, like Brady was struggling to throw outside numbers, and New Orleans has a top secondary. Like they got players that could cover. So I'm interested to see maybe now you could hit Evans and Godwin if AB's healthy, like to get them involved because I think New Orleans has a better defense than Green Bay. I don't think there's much debate on that. But look, Fournette, he's making things happen. He's seeing holes. He's got a couple spin moves. Then Ronald Jones also made some things happen. And I think the one thing you notice with Green Bay, teams could run on them. The Rams had a huge amount of success. Other teams have had success. So who knows? Maybe they'll have more of a balanced attack. I know we all talk about Brady and these receivers, but I think Bruce Arians definitely has somewhat of a commitment to the run.
I wonder what they try to do with Adams. Because it came out that Michael Thomas was hurt also. He's having surgery on both his feet. And that's the big dog right now, man.
Yeah, Devontae. And Tampa Bay's a team that they play a lot of zone, so I'm not sure. Like Carlton Davis did a great job, Michael Thomas, but we all know Devontae Adams is a whole nother
Different breed right now.
Yeah.
The way he's playing. Do you factor in what happened in their first meeting this year? Or is that one of those games where like it was an anomaly?
Yeah, I think it was a bit of an anomaly because I think Green Bay hadn't quite hit their stride yet, and we thought Tampa Bay was like this dominant team. I think we kind of realized Tampa Bay is not quite that team.
They have their flaws, and Green Bay wasn't as bad as what you saw them be.
So of course you remember it, but like Tampa Bay's defense is, I think, not severely, but they've definitely dipped since then. Because I thought that was like the peak. Because I thought at one point the Bucs had the best defense in the league, and I thought
we were talking about that.
Yeah, and then they really dipped the second half of the season, and I still think there's issues in that secondary where they could be got at.
Where are you leaning for this game?
Gotta go Green Bay. I just think we didn't even mention, but their running game as well, that 3-headed monster. Like I know A.J. Dillon, no one knows his health stats yet, but still with Jones and Williams, like Aaron Jones, man, he looked great against the Rams. And you want to talk about how hard is it? Like the fact that they had, I think it was 492 total yards on the Rams defense. I think that just shows you like this offense is bulletproof. They could go after any defense. It doesn't really matter the matchup. And we haven't really talked about him enough, but Matt LaFleur, salute to that man. Like what he's done with that team, and you don't hear much fanfare about him, but look, you can't knock the resume. 27-6 regular season. Already has 2 playoff wins under his belt.
Have you heard of this trend of the Washington disciples?
Well, yeah, you mention almost every time I see you.
Well, yo, McVay, Super Bowl 2018. Right. Shanahan, 2019. LaFleur wins. He's 3 straight.
Charger fans like Brandon Staley. He might be a defensive coach, but we're going somehow.
Yeah, I talked to
or Bengal fans.
If you want to get Josh pissed, be like, yo, bro, how'd you have all 3 of them in your locker room and you let the ball go?
I feel like you can mention about 30 different things about Washington and Josh will get pissed.
That's a super fact. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Green Bay as well, man. I think that it's just Rodgers' year. I'm really starting to believe that. I think the way he's playing and the way they're flowing and the play calls that LaFleur is making to open things up, like, we were talking about it all last week, man. What was Ramsey? He was a non-factor with Adams. The way they were motioning him around and they were putting him in the slot where Ramsey doesn't travel into the slot, it was just food for Adams. And I love that one play call. We both got hyped where it was the first touchdown of the game.
Motion
on the right side. Motion him like halfway behind Rodgers.
Yeah.
Ramsey gets blocked by his own teammates.
Can't defend that.
That's just food right there. So I'm going with Green Bay.
Right. I am curious. Packers, their offense line deserves huge credit for what they did last week. But, once again, losing Bakhtiari, I still think that's a huge loss. I think Bakhtiari is arguably the best left tackle in the league. And whether it's Pierre Paul or Shaq Barrett, that's a matchup to look for. Yeah.